And welcome back to the 2019 Kickball Circuit Cup Championship presented by Kickball 365. Pool play is finished. 14 of the 30 teams are done. They get to go home or sit on the sidelines and become spectators. And we are down to 16 teams left as we enter the single elimination round. An interesting day in pool play, and just doing a quick once-over of all of the teams who did indeed make it out. In the number 1 spot is Flying V out of Atlanta, Georgia. Number 2 is Shockwave. Number 3 is Dope. Number 4 is Pitch Intense out of Boston, Massachusetts. Balls Deep is number 5. Rebels are 6. Beast Mode is 7. Brola is 8. Blackout 9. 10 Hammerheads. 11 is Hazard. 12 Word. 13 is 15. I know that's confusing. The name of the team is 15, and they are ranked number 13 going into elims. 14 is Rogue. 15 is the Feigning Goats out of Vegas. And just squeaking out of pool play is Savage Shock in the 16th position. I'm Patty Cullum alongside of Avery Floyd. We are getting ready for our first featured, well, not even quarterfinal. I guess it wouldn't be quarterfinals. This is the round of 16, the Sweet 16, what have you. And we will be seeing Balls Deep out of St. Louis, Missouri against Word from Southern California. We've seen Word play today already. They managed to get out in the 12 spot, and they went 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses, no ties. Looking back over Balls Deep had a very strong morning. They were 4-0, but due to their run ratio, run differential, they were in the number 5 spot, even with a 4-0 gameplay record. Balls Deep hails out of St. Louis, Missouri. They made it to 4 events this year on the kickball circuit. They were at BEKO. I wish I could remember which, the Big Easy Kickball Open in New Orleans. They were 4-0 in pool play, made it to the Final 4 there. At the Palm Beach Kickball Open, 3-1 in pool play, knocked out in the Elite 8. In the DC Kickball Open, 4-0 in pool play, made it to the Final 4. And in the Savannah Kickball Open, 3-1 in pool play, but went all the way to the championship and were the eventual champions of that game. For the annual circuit tour, at the end of 9 tournaments, Balls Deep out of St. Louis, Missouri, they came out in first place. So very, very strong team. A lot of speed, a lot of kicks. They are a dangerous, dangerous squad. But let's not overlook Word. They were a little bit underwhelming when we saw them in pool play earlier. But they do have a scrappy mentality, and this is not that different from last year when they just kind of squeaked out of pool play and made it all the way to the championships and were the eventual runner-up of the 2018 Kickball Circuit Cup Championship. As a side note, Word is actually spelled W-E-R-D. It's something of an acronym. It stands for We Ruin Days. A little bit of a snarky and sassy name, but hey, if they are able to sneak by Balls Deep here, they'll certainly ruin Balls Deep's game, or end their day. So we'll see if Word can in fact ruin some days, or if it is their own day that is going to be ruined. Avery, you got any thoughts on this?
Well, you know me, I come with the predictions.
He comes with the predictions. All right, what do you got? What do you got? Let's see how accurate you are.
All right, I got a little solid game, but I'm picking Balls Deep 5-2. 5-2.
That's not necessarily a close game, especially in the elims round. A 3-run game is a pretty solid game. So we'll see how close you are. We'll see if Balls Deep lives up to their hype, which is arguably justified, or we'll see if Word can ruin their day. It looks like Balls Deep, as the higher seed, has made the choice to be the home team, so they will take the field first. And in the elims round, I believe we play 6 innings instead of 5. So this will be a little bit longer game. Gives everybody a little bit chance to play a little bit more and see if they can't either make something happen or keep something going, depending on how the game works out.
We got Smoke on the pitcher, man. We got Cocky Man Keon at Charger. We got Speedy Man Skeet at back catcher. They defense so good. They solid back there.
They are solid. Watched a few of their games from this last tournament year, and they definitely have the talent. Every now and then they'll get a little sleepy, a little sloppy, but at the end of the day, I mean, they've only lost 2 pool play games all year out of 4 tournaments, and looks like they've only lost 3 elimination games, a couple Final Four finishes, an Elite 8 finish, and a championship. Nothing to sneeze at. Not that there's much sneezing going on here. I believe the pollen count here in Atlanta is very, very low because it's really, really hot and really, really humid. Off to the sidelines, you can hear Word with their opening game chant. And we look to be just mere seconds away from starting off this round of 16, this Sweet 16 game of the 2019 Kickball Circuit Cup Championship. May even try to mix things up a little bit this game. If we get the chance, we're going to send Avery out to the sidelines for some in-game player interviews, because honestly, nothing makes a player happier when focusing on an intense game than to be interrupted and have to talk to random silly commentators like ourselves. But that's okay. We don't care. Our goal is simply to try and make this sport a little bit more entertaining. And if irritating some of the players on the sidelines does that, well, more power to us. It looks like we are starting the game. Leo Guerra leading off for Word.
That was way.
Smoke throws a ball.
That was way outside.
Way outside.
He's going to have to do better than that.
Smoke trying to get in their heads early by showing maybe he's not the quality pitcher that he's known as. That one's in for a strike. Leo snags up a little bit, finds himself a double kick. Count is 1-1. This is indeed the hot and humid part of the day as Smoke uses a towel to wipe off the ball, see what he can do to keep a little bit better grip on it. Even to the point of perhaps changing the ball. 2 pitches in, everybody's already trying to change the ball. Skeet at the catcher for balls deep seems to agree. Let's see what Smoke says, his pitcher. Let's see what his crasher says, his charger.
I like that. This crasher.
But Crasher, interestingly enough, for that third base running in position, on the West Coast it's generally known as the Crasher, and on the East Coast it is known as the Charger. And there are even a few leagues here and there who will refer that as the third baseman. I just roll my eyes at them. They're silly people.
And I heard he plays shortstop from Milwaukee.
Leo goes for a little kick away, leading off. Bounces the ball off the Charger. Is able to sneak one by, just boop shot right there. Catches just outside of the Charger.
The crasher.
The Crasher. That fella over on that side of the field. Coming up next is Randall Trace in the 2 spot. Not expecting to see a little bit of a kick away on this one. Definitely wants to keep the ball on the ground with a bunt, because in addition to trying to get on base, he wants to make sure he protects his runner at first. 2-0 right now from Smoke. One bounce, 3-0. Randall is likely now on a red light. Nothing, oh, I'm sorry, 2-1, 2-1. 2-1, 3-0. We've lost track of what the count is. Nevertheless, Randall is on a nice little bunt to the left side, runs it out, and just makes it to first. Leo tries to overrun, dodges, and is caught on the round. Little bit of discussion and argument there. First base ump says he saw contact at second base. So Randall successfully gets to first base safely. Leo a little bit aggressive on the turn. Now the umps are going to get together to see whether or not he was out. Don't know if we've got a replay on that play at second. Talking it out, he is called out. Just a little bit too much aggression on the base path, which normally speaking is not an overwhelming amount of aggression. That is an unexpected throw from first base just to try and hold him back. Magnificent play.
Big heads-up play by Mike at first base.
Up in the 3 spot for Word is Sergio Guzman. Looking to lay down a bunt. Trying to move Randall over, as well as get on base himself. Very, very early momentum play, that last one for the game. Swings a little bit towards balls deep, a little bit away from Word. His runners on first and second with no outs is a heck of a lot different than runner on first with 1 out. particularly with a savvy and strong player like Leo on second base, borderline scoring position. It's got to hurt for Word.
Look outside on that ball. This heat is playing a big deal in this pitching thing.
It has to be. It has to be. And I'm curious to know how the rest of the players are doing as well. This is fatigue time right here. All of these players have played at least 4 games. 1 ball, 3 strikes to Sergio. Certainly behind in the count. Gets a little foot on the ball. Little pop up to the shortstop.
That's a big time play right there by Red. Way to play your position. Get the ball in back to your pitcher.
What looked to be a semi-promising start for Word has kind of come off the rails a little bit as they've got 2 outs, a runner on first, but we've got Brian Venmauer, 4 kicker, and a pretty big leg. He's a lefty, so he's got to be looking to target perhaps right field. Let's see if he's able to get something going. Lays off the second pitch, a little bit outside, 1 bounce, a little bit high. I think that was a ball in many, many ways. 1-1, here's the pitch. Takes a big swing, pops it up, a little bit left to center. Ball's deep. Player number 20, Bashan Jackson, BA, gets under it easily, closes out the inning. So, Word with a little bit of an early threat, trying to make some noise, is not able to close any deals. And we're going into the bottom of the first. Score 0-0, and an offensively aggressive balls deep, looking to start things off by getting some runs on the board.
So they got my guy Keon starting off right here. Again, crazy predictions. Safe at 1.
I think you're probably right. It's always interesting, particularly in these later games, when you see somebody in one of the very active defensive positions, catcher, charger, maybe even pitcher, starting as the leadoff. It's one of those things where definitely a few games now, deeper into a limbs, stamina has to come into play. Word looks to be rolling out their standard defense. You've got Austin on first. Sergio's looking to pitch. You got Billy, a.k.a. Sonic, behind the plate in the catcher role. And you've got Randall Trace as the inside charger, Leo is the outside charger. Seems to be warmed up. Sergio feels like he's got a feeling for the pitch on this warmer, sweatier turf field. A little bit of shuffling around in the outfield, trying to figure out who's playing where. And it looks like we're about to start the bottom of this second inning. Keon up to the plate. Sergio on the mound. Here's the 0-0 pitch. First ball is just a little bit wide to the left. Sergio looking to work some curve early in. See if he decides to change it up before actually plating the strike. I can't imagine this setup will be decided at the plate. But it might be. We've got 3-0 count to Keon. Sergio a little bit confused. He thinks at least one of those in there caught a corner.
Have a good eye.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. And there is the strike. So fortunately no 2-base walk on Sergio, but Keon's still way ahead in the count. Sergio is one of those players who's kind of a mix. Sometimes he plays better when he's a little angry and frustrated. Sometimes he plays worse. But after a 3-0 first 3 pitches, he's able to get 2 in there for strikes, so it's 3-2. Keon that time wasn't necessarily sure about the call at the plate.
He was just searching for that 4th ball. Just wanted to stay up on the count.
Yeah, trying to save some energy.
Yeah.
Not have to sprint it out to first. A light jog's always easier. Lays down a little bunt. Well, doesn't lay down a little bunt. Pops back a little bunt. So all of a sudden we're at full count. 3-3 in the bottom of the bottom of the first inning.
Gave Sergio a chance to get back. I think he's going to get him out right here now.
Keon could be a little bit up too much in his head about this. Pops it up, picked up by Billy, and out at
Out of
first.
there.
Magnificent play by Sonic for Word. Goes through, scoops the ball up, does that layout chest pass that is very common.
That is crazy.
Picks it up, whoosh.
Crazy.
Fortunately, he only weighs about 8 pounds, so he's not going to hurt himself landing on the ground. It's like a feather just gently floating and landing very pleasantly on the turf. So one down here in the bottom of the second. And up to kick is Bashan Jackson. First pitch comes down, he takes a swing at it and fouls it up the right-hand side.
This guy Rev right here, he's a speedster. He can get there too.
From Sergio with the 0-1 pitch. Just caught the left-hand corner.
Can't be confident.
You cannot. Bashan Jackson either trying to slow the game down by walking slowly back to the plate, or maybe he's just trying to preserve some energy. Third strike against Bashan Jackson with a little foul ball off to the left-hand side from Sergio. Now you're definitely going to see some garbage coming in. Sergio's probably going to throw a couple of bait pitches, see if he can catch a fish. Get Bashan swinging at something that he doesn't want to swing at, but he has to just to protect, either inducing the foul or kicking into an easily played ball at first base. Just wide. Maybe one bounce.
Perfect pitch.
It's exactly what you want to throw in that situation when you're up that much in the count. Sergio's still thinking that may have been a strike. He's chattering back and forth. This ain't MLB baseball, folks. The pitchers, the players, they'll talk to the umps. Decent bunt right there, and easily, oh my goodness, I thought safe at first, but punched out trying to slide in. That is one of the dangers of sliding into first, folks. It does slow you down. If he just stayed up and stayed sprinting the whole time, I don't think that would have been a close play. Now, there is a three-way discussion between the umps. And
out.
The replay does indeed show an out. Let's see what the umps say. First base ump certainly seemed confident, checking to see if third base or home plate ump saw anything even close for the possibility of overturning it, which is generally the case. They have to see something that is very, very apparent and very, very obvious to overturn a first baseman who is in good placement, has a good eye on the play. So 2 down now in the bottom of the first inning. Coming up now is Terrence Bolden, a.k.a. Smoke, in the number 3 spot. A little bit of shuffling around right now for Word's defense. They're throwing Randall into the outfield, just on the off chance that Smoke decides to swing away, see if he can't make something happen, get a ball to drop, land a double, or maybe even get on base, because Balls Deep has not had one of those yet. And by one of those, I mean a base runner.
That is surprising. With the top of their lineup.
It really is, but this is the power of Sergio and Word. They've got, like I said, they've got speedy, strong infield, and Sergio is a clever, weird pitcher. And even if he goes down 3-0 against the top of the lineup, he'll come back and get him out at the plate.
Yeah,
so
and that's exactly what he did on Keon.
Exactly. Smoke going for the run-up, trying to throw things off a little bit. Smoke looking for a walk. Some serious head games going back and forth. Sergio sassing Smoke a little bit. Smoke chuckling at his attempt to try and pull a walk. Counts now 3-2. When at one point it was 3-0, same thing as the first kicker. Sergio goes down in the count, but manages to bring it back. That one rolls a little bit outside. Sergio not quite able to get the curve and bite on it that he wanted. And Balls Deep finally has a base runner in the form of Smoke.
Didn't have to use no smoke to get there.
Exactly. Number 4 kicker Mike Jones up now for balls
Who?
deep. Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. First ball is wide to the right. One thing that I would suspect balls deep has learned with these first few kickers is be patient on Sergio. Mike Jones pops up a ball deep to left side. Jackie Leonard out in left field. A little bit of trouble earlier in the day making catches. Picks that one up with darn near an overhand catch, closing out the inning. So after one, boom, look at that. Tracking the ball the whole way. Didn't even settle up for the underarm basket catch. Just reaches her hands up overhead, snags that ball for the out. And we go into the top of the second inning.
0-0.
0-0.
I hate those. You ain't giving me nothing at the beginning.
I mean, it's good for defense, I suppose. You can call it a defensive slugfest.
Never.
Well,
They're just sorry on offense. Kickball, I want to see some points.
Absolutely, absolutely. You just don't like giving defense credit. You're an offensive fellow, aren't you?
Nah.
Notice I didn't say you're an offensive fellow. Umps get together for a little bit in the middle of the field, have a quick discussion about something.
Jackie, you want to come talk about it?
As we step into the top of the second inning, Jeremy Burke up for word. And apparently Sergio's having some sort of discussion with the ump. Not exactly sure what the controversy is. Don't know if he was looking for clarification on something, but certainly worth a discussion. Smoke back on the mound. Jeremy Burke up to kick. Without a base runner to protect, I'm probably going to give about 10-1 odds that Jeremy's going to swing away, see if he can get a ball to drop somewhere. Boom, there's the kick. Way too high, launches it into the stratosphere. Back down to earth, into the loving, loving, tender arms of... Oh, see, that would have worked so much better if I knew who the guy that actually caught that was.
That was Rev.
That was Rev. Cradling that ball like a gentle, gentle kitten. Rev slurps up that ball. Nice catch. Jeremy got way too much under it. Austin Thompson coming up to kick. And boom, there's his kick. Also high to left field.
Hey, Smalls with the catch. Lauren Ashley, a.k.a. Small to the wall.
No issues there on that catch. Couple of steps. Went down to a knee just to make sure she was completely under it. And now we've got Billy Sonic up to kick forward. Takes the first pitch as a strike from Smoke. Second pitch is just a little bit wide. Pitch number 3 comes down. A little bit wide to the left-hand side. It's Billy being patient at the plate, paying off for him so far with the 2-1 count. Right idea for a bunt, just a little bit on the inside. Avery Floyd trying to catch an interview with Jackie Leonard, who made that spectacular catch at the end of the last inning. She's being a little bit camera shy. Billy pops a bunt up the little first up the first base side. Gets a little bit of a misfielding there by the catcher, and all of a sudden Word has another base runner. Billy is very, very likely the speediest runner on Word, so that's actually, if you're going to have a base runner, that's a good one to have. Skeet for balls deep. Charged out. Looked like he was going to make a decent play on it, but just missed the scoop up. Bent over to pick it up, and the ball just shot out from between his hands. Up to kick now, Billy Barrios. Billy B. The other Billy for Word. Got 2 outs in the top of the second. he's lining up for a bunt. And he does. Pops it up to the right-hand side. Smoke is able to get off the mound, make the catch. Feeds it to first base just for good measure. And word leaves another runner stranded on the bags.
I couldn't get Jackie.
Jackie can be a little shy at times.
I couldn't get Jackie.
That's too bad. But she's one of those, she's an action, not words person. She doesn't need to talk. She made that catch. She made a great catch. She doesn't need to talk about it. She knows what she did. We know what she did.
If it was a cold beer, she said she would have.
Oh, yeah. See if we can find a cold beer for her. As we go into the bottom of the second inning, Eastwood Henderson lining up to the plate. Here's another fella that I do not expect to see bunting. Eastwood is a kick-away fella, but we'll see what happens. He may try to confuse all of us. Settling into the top of the second inning. Sergio pitches a ball a little bit far to the left. 1 ball, no strikes against Eastwood Henderson. Second pitch looks to be 1 bounce, 2 balls. Sergio doing his usual pattern of getting down in the count early on and then feeding a strike in just to keep everybody guessing. I know if you were going to ask Sergio, those pitches are intentional. Eastwood with a decent line drive shot on the left-hand side. Picked up by the shortstop. Sergio backs up to second base just to prevent the runner, Eastwood, from getting all the way to second. No extra bases for Eastwood, but a decent kick. And here in the bottom of the second, balls deep finally has a leadoff base runner. Got a little bit of chatter on the field. Skeet up to kick 4 balls deep. Calling out Macy in right field. And we are waiting to see what it was. Billy got a hand on the ball, popped it up. They are waiting to see, checking with the umps to see if the ball was a catch for a double play or if the ball grounded. If it did ground, they at least got the out at first. A lot of discussion from the umps right now. We'll have to see how this plays out. Billy chasing the ball down, gets a hand on it, pops it up a little bit. Home plate ump is indicating a double play, which means it was a catch. Eastwood caught, stranded off the bag. So it looks indeed to be a double play. That is going to be a highlight reel for the future for certain. Magnificent play by Billy at catcher, keeping a hand on the ball, getting it up for, I believe it was Randall to finally make the catch, then fired over to Austin at first for the double play. Magnificent play right there. Teddy Johnson, a.k.a. 200 degrees, up to kick now for balls deep. 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Sorry,
this game is certainly turned into a defensive slugfest. Teddy Johnson trying to find a decent kick away. Gets a little of a bloop shank off the inside of his foot and dribbles the ball foul on the left-hand side. A little bit too much curve on that ball from Sergio. Ball cuts in for a ball. Something of a wonky foot on that ball, but at least he sent it to the right spot. Little dead zone right between the pitcher and the charger. That's good enough for a base hit for Teddy Johnson. And now up to kick is Lauren Murray, AKA Small World. Second pitch comes in there for a strike. Sergio looks to be comfortably ahead in this at kick so far. Trying to work a little bit of a spin. Ball cuts a little bit too far to the left. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lauren Murray. Again, just on the inside. Sergio trying to paint that left-hand line. Pops a little bunt up to the first base side. Sergio comes across, slurps it up after getting off the mound. Dishes to Austin for the out. And once again, balls deep. Runs through their inning without scoring a run. Word's defense holding strong. So after 2 innings, no score, a lot of defensive plays, some very, very solid defensive plays, and just a little bit of difficulty at the plate for kickers all the way around. Nobody really able to string a few hits together in order to move the runners around and eventually across the plate. Justin Hargrove with a leadoff bunt. Beautiful shot down the line. Keon Montgomery clearly not expecting that. Caught a little bit on his heels. By the time he got to the ball, he knew he didn't have a play. So he just ate it. Macy Berlin, a little bit of a center bunt. Easily picked up and thrown out to first, but it does move Justin around to second base.
Hello.
Coming up next, Bonnie Hargrove.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
See if she's going to maybe take a little bit of a shot, or if she's going to try and bunt up 1 just on the chance, see if she can get Justin around to third base. That all-important 60 feet away. Yes, indeed. Looking for the bunt up first base. Called fair, tagged out at first. Beautiful bunt on the line, moving Justin easily to third. So with 2 outs, Word finally has somebody threatening in scoring position. And coming up to kick, Jackie Leonard. She is a deceptive player, has a decent bunt and is fast, but she's a left footer and can also get a pretty good leg on the ball.
But she doesn't talk.
She does not talk.
She do not
Actions,
talk.
not words. Action Jackie right here.
Hey, she do not talk. I tried to get her for an interview on that great catch, but nope, she ran from it. So now I get to watch her make another good play right here.
Let's
say
see
she
what
get the
happens.
run in.
Left field kick, left-hand side, picked up. Is there going to be? There's a play at first, just barely makes it in time. Jackie didn't get quite enough on it. If she was just able to push it a little bit past the infield, that would have been a base hit, scoring a run. Exactly what she wanted to do, just not enough gun. Alas, that is the perfect placement and position for that ball. But you know what? I got to give credit to the second basewoman for balls deep. Good sidestep fielding, picked the ball up, nice little dish to first base, preventing the run from scoring, getting the third out, going into the bottom of the third, still no score. Phillip, AKA Puma, up to kick now for balls deep.
Watch out now. Puma can put it in. He can put it in the outfield. He can kick it out there. It's very rare I see him bunt.
Well, seeing how much difficulty they've had against the infield of Word, I would not be surprised to see a swing away at this point. Word is also expecting a kick away as they pull their inside charger, Randall, out to left center field.
But also in this situation, they got to stay alert in the infield. The back catcher and the charger still got to do their role. But give or take, Puma is going to the outfield.
Leo still working up from charger. Billy still moving up from catcher. So they are not sleeping on it. And Sergio starts things off right, catching the left-hand corner of the plate. First pitch is in for a strike.
Nice lick. It got down.
Good little inside of the foot pop over. Not enough to go for a great big deep ball, but Phillips saw his hole on the left-hand side, got it just over Leo, just in front of the shortstop. Perfect little pop over base hit. Next up for balls deep looks to be Elanya Johnson, a.k.a. Flower Bomb. With a runner on first, she's got to be thinking about bunting here. Sole goal has to be moving Phillip around.
She's reaching. She's reaching.
A little bit of a reach.
She's reaching.
Got just a bit under it. Popped it up a scotch.
Got to stay on top of that ball.
Definitely has to keep it on the ground. And wants to push it out a little bit. Does not want to leave it short for Billy to pick up. Although he doesn't look like he's got anybody working. Yeah, he might have somebody working the second base spot. So there could be a play at second if it is a short ball to Billy at Word. But I suspect it'll probably be a longer bunt out to Leo, make the play at first. Oh my goodness, left-footed bunt to Sergio. He picks it up, dishes it to first for the out. Phillip holds at 2. So even though Elanya Johnson does not make it successfully to first base, she does some good for the squad, moving Phillip Appia? I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Moving Phillip to second base.
Just call him Puma.
Just call him Puma. And that'll bring up Shonda Phillips, a.k.a. Red Dog. Again, definitely a situation where she's probably looking to push it up the first base side, see if she can get him to third base. A little bit of a swinging strike right there. Don't know if she got a foot on the ball.
Definitely did. Right between the legs.
They got Randall in as the mirror charger, which I don't know how much sense that makes, as there is no force at third, so it will be a tag play at third if that indeed does come into play. Sergio gets ahead early on. No balls, 2 strikes against Shonda Phillips. Fouls it off to the right-hand side. Sergio very, very comfortably ahead right now. We'll see if he starts getting weird with his pitch or if he just keeps going after her. See if he wants to bait her into swinging at something she doesn't want. Fools her with the one bounce, the long pitch. She's still behind it. Fouls it off to the right-hand side. That is the second out for the inning. Next up is Shakia Tarpkins, extra, with a few extra X's. How many extra X's do you need in the nickname Extra? Well, according to Shakia Tarpkins, 2. 2 extra X's. Kicking away right there. And a picture-perfect MLB play. Little bloop to the right-hand side. Austin Thompson pops out to field the ball. Sergio, hot off the mound, running over, picks up the dish on his way to first base. They make the out at 1. Stranding Puma on the base path. So after 3 innings, there is no score. Normally that would sound boring, but this is sort of exciting. The good news is, since we are the elimination round, we're not going to get one of those irritating ties. One way or another, this game will end with a winner. Still don't know who it's going to be. Is it the number 5 seed today, Balls Deep, who won the national tour? Or is it going to be the scrappy little squad out of California who ruins days? Honestly, it's anybody's bet at this point.
I'm thinking Word.
You thinking Word now?
I'm thinking Word.
You're changing your own prediction.
Yes, I'm thinking Word now. They playing solid. And they getting on base.
Yes, they are. Up for Word is Missy Magpoli. I erroneously referred to her as Missy Zuckerman in the earlier game.
Oh, good play by Skeet back there with the pop-up. Easy catch at back catch.
Well, regardless what her last name is, Missy Magpoli, Missy Zuckerman. She did get married some time ago. She does pop out to Skeet at the catcher. So
to who?
To Skeet, number 2. Is Skeet, is he Marquis or Marquise?
It's Skeet.
It's Skeet. Okay, there you go.
It's Skeet. It's Puma. It's Smoke.
Bringing around Leo. Lead off for Word. He's got 1 out. Nobody on base. I don't think we've seen him bunt today, and this is the 4th time we've seen him at the plate, kicked away every time. I don't expect to see anything different right now. Decent little bloop shot to center field. Unfortunately, a scotch high, easily fielded, easily caught. No love, no action.
Nothing.
It is now up to Randall Trice to see if Word can get a base runner this inning, or if Smoke and the Balls Deep defense are going to successfully blank Word out. Good pitch on the outside corner. A lot of heat, just a little bit of movement. Same pitch, a little bit more inside, but the second strike. The top of the 4th inning, Smoke seems to have found his rhythm. He's found his pitch. Let's see if he sticks with that or mixes it up. Kind of the same, a little bit inside. Picked up, fired to one, and it is just a little bit wide. Not quite fieldable by the first baseman. So
it ain't very often that I see Keon making that play. He would have got that out.
Usually on target. A little bit rushed. Up to Sergio now for Word. 2 outs, runner on first. I kind of doubt we'll see the bunt right now. This is about a good time to get a little bit weird. Takes a second strike. So Sergio fading behind the count a little bit. Boom, there's the shot to the right side, and in foul territory, still caught for the out.
Change him.
Sergio giving respect to the pitcher, giving respect to Smoke, realizing that, yep, Smoke absolutely beat him at the plate, even though it was a foul ball. It was not a pitch that Sergio really should have gone after or could have gotten a better foot on. So even though first baseman made the catch, that's kind of all on Smoke on the mound for that one. Stepping into the bottom of the 4th inning. Game looks to be over halfway done, still no score. It's about time something's going to happen for one of these two squads.
I'm thinking the truth is going to be the truth.
Theus Wesley, the truth, is up. Very tight game defensively, a little bit of hiccups offensively. This is one of those cases where I think the first person to blink is probably going to lose.
Oh, I think I lied. The truth is not the truth.
The truth is not the truth.
I don't know what that was on that first pitch.
That was, looks like he got a little bit on top of the ball.
He looked nervous now.
He does.
I thought he had skills, since you named the truth.
Well, maybe the truth is he's a mediocre player.
That's the truth.
I shouldn't say that. Come on. I'm sure he's a lovely person, and that's the truth. Now watch for Sasnam. He's going to come throw tomatoes at us. Wonderful little bunt up the left-hand side. Billy gets a hand on it, but he has to go down to the ground in order to hang on to it. Not able to get up and throw in time. So the truth sneaks on with a deceptively good little bunt right there.
Hey, BA, who was out last? BA!
But this part of the lineup, truth should be that point they need. They at the top of the lineup with their best bunters up. Keon got out last time, but this time
that's a necessary move from the anchor.
Definitely
getting on base, and then Keon to come in, get on base. Balls deep, very much looking like they're taking control of this game. First 2 kickers on this inning, no outs. Coming up next is Bashan Jackson, BA. 99.9% certainty he's going to try and bunt up 1 with this at kick. And he does. First pitch does it. Leo picks up the ball.
He's safe at 1. It's a bobble. Safe at 1. We got
Austin's looking for a call whether or not the ball hit him.
I love this situation that my best friend out here. Smoke.
So here we
Smoke,
go.
my guy.
The throw, and Austin may have a case. The ball did hit him. It's whether or not his foot was down on the bag beforehand. So umps are all going to talk it out, speak with Macy, the captain, about it. According to the replay, the ball did hit him. It's just a matter of whether or not the foot was down.
So they got him safe at 1.
They got him safe at first.
So no outs. Smoke is up.
Possibly a runner's lane violation, as the throw did take Austin across that foul line. Either way, bases loaded, no outs.
You definitely don't want no smoke right here.
There better be fire.
Can he live up to the name?
First pitch, a one bouncer from Sergio. You know he's going to try and feed him a little bit of garbage with some twist, possibly some bounce. Word's best bet is to try and induce a pop-up. See if he can freeze the runners. Instead, Smoke launches a wonderful little bloop line drive to the left side, bounces off the shortstop, brings in 2 runs, no extra bases, but that is exactly the kind of kick that Balls Deep needed in that situation. Bring in a couple of runs, get the pendulum swinging their way for the momentum. No outs, still runners on first and second. Ball was just a little bit short, so that Bonnie Hargrove couldn't quite make the catch on it. Next kicker up, Mike Jones. Launches a shot. BA comes all the way around. Close play at home. And now there's a lot of confusion as to who's out. People are off the bases. This is where things get weird because nobody knows who called timeout, if the ball was in play, out of play. Umps are going to get together, talk it out. Folks, I can't tell you what's going on, and I'm not going to know until they make a decision. That is definitely one of those scrambled things where there's confusion as to whether or not the ball's going. So there's the play to home. He's safe at home. Ball is still active and in play at that point. Leo picks it up.
But the situation, the play at 2, when the ball was at 2, they saying he was safe because he ran past the bat, but he kept running, so they didn't chase him. So they called him safe at 2. They called Smoke safe at 2. So they tried to get Mike to go back to get Smoke to stay at 3, but he kept going. And they called him out at 3rd.
So it looks like end result is at least 1 run scored. Now I don't know if it was 1 or 2 outs on the play. We could probably use some clarification on that from somebody. Well, it looks like it was only... Well, there's still confusion, still working it out. Home plate ump bringing the umps in again to talk it out, try and figure out who's out, who's safe, who's where.
See right here, the play at 2 wasn't they got him being safe. She wasn't on the bag.
Copy that. Making sure the run was counted, which will be the 3rd run. So 1 out, runner on 3rd, another run plated, bottom of the 4th, and Balls Deep is up 3-0 against Word.
Is it 1 out or 2? It's 1 out.
So definitely one of those confusing screwball plays where everybody loses track of what's going on. Fortunately, the umps were talking it out, figured out what was going on. And now Word's just trying to contain damage.
So it's 1 out, I'm butting down 3, and I'm turning 2 regardless.
Yeah,
but he chose to keep the Jackie.
It's Eastwood kicking. Jackie makes the catch in left field easily. And Mike Jones tags up, crosses the plate. Score is 4-0.
Who?
Mike Jones. Strategically speaking, the bunt up 3 is not a bad idea, but you need to pay attention to who your kickers are. Eastwood doesn't bunt. He's a kicker.
I see. Skeet with
Skeet, also a kicker.
I never seen that.
Picked up by Justin Hargrove out in right field. Rough inning for Word. Gave up a couple of base runners very early on with no outs. Balls Deep capitalizes with some great little short shots. Up the middle. Getting the ball to bounce, moving runners around, some wonderfully aggressive base running. And when it's all said and done, 4 runs in the 4th. And now in the top of the 5th, Word having a little bit of huddle, seeing if they can hype themselves up a little bit and try and fight their way back into this game a little bit. In their earlier pool play match against Shockwave, Word kind of got down on themselves a little bit when the score was against them. And and certainly faded away a little bit. I'm guessing they're talking right now. Not to give up. It's only 4 runs. Some teams can score 4 runs in their sleep. Looks like Eastwood Henderson taking over the pitching duties. I guess they figure with a comfortable 4-run lead, Smoke can take a break from the mound.
Hey, Patty.
Sir.
We got a helper out here.
Do we? Who do we have?
Oh, no. What's your name, guy? Say it again.
A little bit of technical difficulties with our helper. Waiting to get some audio for him. First pitch looks like it was in there for a ball. Eastwood having a good time out there. He's relaxed. He's happy. Eastwood likes that pound it into the ground ball. Gives a lot of downward motion, gets some bounces. Trying to see if he can get the second bounce to drop into the zone. Thus far, though, it's still staying high as it crosses the plate. To Brian Benmauer for a word. Decent little shot from Brian Benmauer, and it is through the left fielder. That is through Small World's hands. And Benmauer gets an easy extra base stand-up double for Word. If they need to start something off and get this game going, that's what you need to do.
All right, Pat. We got a helper.
Okay, who do we have?
I'm gonna get him to introduce himself. So
Okay.
what's your name, little guy?
I'm Bryce.
We've got Bryce.
How you doing?
Good.
You know anything about this sport?
It's pretty fun.
So if that was you out there in the outfield, would you have had to make that catch? If you were
Yes.
small just now?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think you would have.
I would have.
Jeremy Burke up for Word right now.
So if I'm not mistaken, you was here from Balls Deep Side.
Yes.
And who is the player you're watching?
My dad, BA, number 20.
Number 20, a.k.a. Rev?
Now, a.k.a. B.A., Bashaw Jackson. Jeremy Burke with a wonderful shot
Red
to
with
the
the
shortstop.
great catch. She gave the ball a hug on that play.
Red feeling lonely, wants to show the ball some love. A great big wide 2-armed huggle snug catch. But it worked. Ball didn't bounce, ball didn't go anywhere. Freezing Brian Benmauer at second base. Austin going for a bunt. Looks like it was called foul.
So that's a dead ball. It was a double kick.
That is lucky for Austin. He got himself a 1-up mushroom right there. Extra life because, ooh, that's not a good bunt in this situation. I see what he's trying to do. Word does need base runners. Word does need to move their base runners around the base path. So a fly ball that freezes Benny at second doesn't do any good. Changes his mind, decides to kick away, and instead kicks it directly to Mike Jones. Mike Jones showing magnificent athleticism there by jumping a whole 4 inches off the ground to make that catch.
Who was that making
On
that
the
play?
replay, oh no, that was about 6 inches. That was a good leap. Mike Jones,
Who?
6-inch vertical right there for an easy out on Austin Thompson. So with 2 outs, Billy, a.k.a. Sonic, up to kick. Steps out of the box. And Macy, the captain, comes over from Word. A little bit of confusion about something or other. Discussion. Maybe they wanted to do a sub. Yes, they do want to do a sub. They are changing out Brian Benmauer, putting Daniel Mizraki, a speedy little feller, out on second base. You can't necessarily tell with the headgear on right now, but Mizraki and Benmauer darn near could be twins. They both got the shaved head stubble look. Both got the same silly, goofy, cockeyed grin. They're darn near twins and they know it. Billy lays down a short bunt. And Skeet decides to make no play. Mizraki easily gets to third. Billy's safe at first.
We got 2 down. That might have been a smart play.
Absolutely. Next up is the other Billy, Billy Barrios.
Easy, it's right there.
He is a good flex kicker. He can lay down a bunt, but in this situation, I suspect he's going to take a shot. See if he can't get a decent kick.
And they going to the books right here. I'm thinking they making a call on a sub or kicking out of line.
Not exactly sure what's going on. Balls Deep seems to think they might have a kicker out of order. Macy's coming in saying, no, we did a legit sub. Part of the confusion going on is Word has 2 players named Billy, and they kick back to back. So I understand Balls Deep's confusion. Which Billy is it? Well, this is Billy Barrios up to kick now. Billy, a.k.a. Sonic, is on first base. And Daniel Mizraki is on third base. Everyone will note that I am calling Billy Sonic only by his first name. I happen to know his last name, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
Try it.
And, well, he didn't submit it on the sheet, so clearly he's trying to hide it. Magnificent choice right there by Billy Barrios to get something going for his team. Figured the best way to do it is to kick a short little line drive directly to Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones in the Charger position. 3 outs. Word threatens a little bit, but does not score a run. Still showing the great big goose egg on the scoreboard.
So we got Bryce with us, and right now I think his dad is up to lead off this inning. Do you have anything to say about your dad before you go?
He's probably just going to lay it down.
Gonna lay it down 3?
Yep. But I don't think he's up because I'm pretty sure he scored last inning. He did score last inning.
There's only one thing making me happier than Avery being wrong, and that's Avery being corrected by our little assistant back there. Nicely done, buddy. Nicely done. All right. Teddy Johnson, 200 degrees up to kick, 4 balls deep.
That's how it feels out here. 200 degrees. It got me
quite
confused.
warm. Waiting to see if somebody can get a radar temperature gun to shoot at the field, see how hot it is.
It got to be 200 degrees.
It's got to be warm. 200 degrees with a little bit of pop-up. Sonic with the slurp.
Catching all the rings.
1 out. Oh, I get it. That's a video game reference.
Sonic catching the rings.
See, I'm making Mario references. You give me no love for my 1-up mushrooms, but you're all like, look at me. I'm making Sonic the Hedgehog references.
But, I mean, let's just be honest. Sonic is better.
Oh, now we're fighting.
Oh.
Now we're fighting.
I like that.
I thought the first red card was going to come from the field, but now the first red card is going to come when I toss our little helper over the fence. No love for Mario. Up to kick right now, Small World.
She definitely need a 1-up.
Lauren Murray.
She need a 1-up.
She does.
Little shorty.
She does. Had a tough play missing a ball in the outfield. Takes a couple of balls, decides to lay one down up on the foul side. So, oh goodness, it might be 0-3. I have lost track of the count. She could be in a little bit of trouble here at the plate. So it looks like 3 balls, 1 strike. We've lost track of the count. Hopefully the ump has it, because if well, that's what happens when we talk about video games for a few pitches. We lose track of the count. Decent little bunt picked up by Leo. Rocket arm to first. Called safe. Everybody's wondering if there was a reflection and a bounce off of her before she got her foot down on the plate. But they're saying it was a headshot.
I mean, any direct throw would have been a headshot there. Smalls, look how short she is.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Just look how short she is. That's a regular 2-hand chest pass. It's to her head.
Great throw by Leo, and bonk right on the noggin. So that's an automatic safe. The peg is allowed in kickball, but you are not allowed to peg in the head or neck. So Lauren Murray, Small World, successfully on base. Tries to go for the kick away. That was Puma, Philip Appia. Fortunately doesn't get a great foot on the ball. Easy pickup and out to first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Coming up now, Alania Johnson, Flower Bomb. Alania Johnson, forgive me. Flower Bomb, just trying to tack on a little bit more insurance. 4 balls deep. Decent little chip shot kick that drops just foul. Little pop over to the right-hand side. Austin picks it up easily for the 3rd and final out.
So this the last inning.
And we are called last inning.
4-0. What do they need to do here?
Word? They need to get on base and score runs. What kind of a question is that? I have to see where
what
they
they've been
are
doing in the last few innings.
in the lineup. Yeah, they've been getting some base runners, but just not quite getting enough to close the deal.
Balls deep defense isn't impenetrable. It's like one pop up, caught.
They're solid, but I wouldn't say completely impenetrable. They did give up a few runs in pool play. Now, granted, they haven't given up any runs in this game, so I can't completely argue with you. They're certainly hanging in there well. So we're leading off with Justin Hargrove for Word. If I remember right, he successfully got on base last at kick. Eastwood hanging on to the pitching duties for balls deep. Justin, lazy bunt came in just a little bit late, but holy cow, that is exactly the kind of dribble bunt you want to put out there, especially if you've got Skeet the catcher sleeping out there, not charging that ball, which I believe is how he got on last time, one of those little deceptive bunts. One strike, no balls here in the top of the 6th inning. As balls deep is the home team, Word does have to try and get 4 runs plated if they want to carry on to the bottom of the 6th. Balls deep just trying to close things out right now.
I don't see that happen. I don't see them scoring any. 3 up, 3 down right here.
At this point,
balls deep, get the rest.
Yeah, at this point
wait on
in
their
the
next
day,
opponent.
I don't see balls deep falling prey to too much weirdness, but Justin Hargrove decides to get a little bit weird. Had everybody baited with a short bunt, decided to fire a little looper to the left-hand side, just outside.
And my guy Keon is not making no plays. He need to make a play.
Keon's pushing very much the inside of the crasher zone.
Should have kept Mike at Charger.
Should have. Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Keon's gotten fooled a couple of times by that outside little bloop kick. And now we've got Macy Berlin up. First pitch, she dribbled in the foul zone. So 0-1 to Macy. Justin on second. Macy didn't like that one. Looked wide, looked like one bounce. Don't know exactly what it was, except it was a ball.
It's a ball.
It's a ball.
We definitely got a 1-1 count.
Macy with a little comebacker up the middle. Keon across the middle, good pickup, good fire. Gets Macy out at first, but does move Justin around to second base. Word could just be playing for pride at this point, trying to see if they can plate a run before the game gets closed out. It's up to Bonnie Hargrove. Similar situation as last inning. Bonnie up with 1 out, Justin on second. She gonna try and move him over? She gonna take a shot, see if she can make something fun happen. First ball comes in, looks like for a strike. Weird little blooper kick, easily picked up by Eastwood, thrown out at first. And for the second time today, Justin Hargrove gets to third base. Once upon a time, that would be considered a knee ball as she caught it on her upper thigh. However, I think Kickball 365 got rid of the knee ball a long, long time ago. So anything below the waist, no, I take that back. Never had the knee ball at Kickball 365. So anything below the waist, as long as it hits your leg, much a fair ball. Jackie Leonard up to kick. She's got a runner at third base. Got to be thinking she's going to try and kick him in. Decent little shot right to Mike Jones.
Who?
And that is ball game.
Got a little celebration from Tiffany.
Word certainly hung in there for the first few innings, but the bad inning gave up 4 runs, 3 or 4 runs in one inning, and that put them out of the game. So, first round of elims are finished. Balls deep will be moving on. Word's going to chill on the sidelines, and we will be back with the round of 8 in just a few minutes.